Yeah, that's right. It's video log time once again. Here on this formerly snowy day. It's not snowy anymore. Definitely snowed a whole lot this morning. It was a fun, it was a commute, we'll call it that. Yeah, that was, not great. Um, but actually, funny enough, it wasn't too bad, all things considered, right up until I actually got to work. And they didn't have anything cleaned, of course, so you slip slide all over the place. Oh, come on. There we go. It's actual light. Um, yeah. Slide all over the place. Your traction control cuts out your acceleration so you don't move. And stuff like that. I'm telling you what. There's always a person out and about when you're trying to make a video. But anyway. That happened. I'm pretty sure that somebody rear-ended me because the car jolted forward when I was stopping and had my foot on the brake. Now, some people might say that's ABS, but you can tell when ABS goes off, and it wasn't ABS. The flip side of that, too, though, is they didn't stop, I didn't stop, and I looked and there's nothing there to see, so really, I don't know. Maybe we could go take a look. I don't want the light on. Walk through the tundra here. We could see. But I certainly didn't see anything. Maybe we can see, I don't know. I'll turn the light on. You know, like I said, I don't see anything. It was a bigger SUV. I would have hit that side, you know. Initially I thought this maybe, but no, that's just part of the way it is. Yeah. So, I don't know. If they did, you can't tell, so, oh well, that happened. Lots of vehicles stuck on the side of the road, lots of people in ditches. There was someone who hit a pole, you know, the usual kind of thing that happens when it snows. You know, it wasn't even 10 centimeters of snow, and it still turned into a disaster. What a surprise, eh? Of course, part of it is just simply because the city is woefully underprepared for literally anything. You know, completely unprepared. Not ready for it at all. They knew it was going to happen. They were saying that it was going to happen. They were saying to prepare for it, and they didn't do anything themselves. So, I mean, what makes them think that anybody else is going to prepare for it? This video is going to go up this weekend. Today's Wednesday. Assuming I don't forget. I keep forgetting. And I want to get into the throes of making a video log once a week. Uploading them on the weekend at some point. At least once a week. Probably not more often than that, because I can't imagine there's much to talk about if I, you know, just do them willy-nilly all the time, but certainly once a week. Well, I gotta show you something ridiculous also that happened. I don't know if I still have the thing. Oh yeah, I do. This right here is a box that something arrived in recently. You want to take a guess what it is? I'll show you what it was. This showed up in that box. Now, of course, the flip side to that is that the shipping was free, so maybe I shouldn't complain, but still, that's just kind of woefully unnecessary and kind of begs the question, because the cost on the actual items themselves I thought was quite ludicrous, and that's even after leaving them an offer. Although the flip side of that is It's about, I guess, retail cost for the battery, but it kind of makes you wonder, how much of that cost is padding to cover for their free shipping, you know? And I'm sure that happens far more than you'd like to think on eBay. Of course, eBay's on my shit list for other reasons. Not the least of which is the fact that they had decided to start collecting sales tax, and that's their prerogative, and one could make the argument that by law they should be. And that's not really what I have a problem with. No, what I have a problem with is the fact that they don't tell you what fees they're collecting in taxes, i.e. what the tax amount is, until after you have committed to buy the item by going to the checkout. Whether you've accepted an offer or just, buy it now, or even a bid, or any of these things. And it's not consistent either, because of course some U.S. states don't collect sales tax. And it's not consistent either because the tax amount changes. And you can tell that the tax amount changes. Sometimes it's fairly obvious. So I don't really understand. It would be nice, and I can't imagine for 5 seconds that they don't know and cannot compute what you're going to pay in taxes. And I'm not talking about customs taxes or import fees or anything like that. I'm talking about, which they also don't tell you anymore, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like federal, state, provincial, whatever, harmonized, whatever it is you want to call it, sales tax. I don't believe for a moment that they can't tell you what that is before you commit to buying an item that, you put a bid on, and all of a sudden your great deal is not so much of a great deal anymore because the taxes are at like 13% or something equally as ridiculous, and sometimes more than that, which kind of makes me wonder if all of it's taxes. I think some of it might actually just be gouging on the part of eBay to get their fees. But that's treading dangerously close to tinfoil hat territory, and I can't prove that. So, for the sake of argument, we'll just call it all taxes. I really don't like the fact that they don't tell you what it is beforehand, because they know what it is beforehand. And anybody that says otherwise is wrong. So, there you go. No change with anything in here. Still just as much of a mess as ever. I did kind of move some of that stuff finally, but, still got some work to do. It's too cold out here really to do anything, and of course that's all wet now because people have been parking in here with snow on their tires. But it's the same thing that happens year in, year out. I bought a computer today that I would like to test, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go find a different means by which to test it, because it's too wet and too snowy out here at this point. So, anyway, that's coming along. Videos are coming along. Editing is coming along. I'm almost through the 2024 videos, and I could start editing the 2025 stuff. So that's cool. Coming at some point. Excuse me. Sorry. It's been a long month at work. So, again, something I'm glad's over. Almost over. But it'll probably get worse before it gets better. Because right now is not busy. It'll get busy again. Probably like the last week of February, first week of March. Then it'll get busy again towards the end of March. Then it's going to get busy again mid to late April, and then it will be quiet. It'll be summer, finally. And I can get some things done. Because right now, getting things done has taken a back seat to putting out fires, effectively. Which is too bad, but that's just the way it is. No one's going to see this video that actually would be able to do so, but if anybody sees this and happens to know where I can source a cable and a controller card, I think there is a controller on eBay for Microchannel for one of these. But an Amdac Laser Drive 1, if someone's got a cable and a controller, or a lead on one, I would love to hear from you, because that was supposed to come with them and it didn't. So again, kind of pissed off with an eBay seller for that. I did get some of my money back at least, but not enough to take the saltiness out of my mouth. I contemplated giving them negative feedback for it, even after giving me that partial refund, but life is too short to be dying on that particular hill, so I just didn't leave feedback at all. So that's the way that it is, and that I think that would do a lot of people a lot of good if, when they have an experience that they feel is overtly negative, even if the seller has tried to make it right. A lot of situations, there's still some situations there where sellers try to make it right and they still deserve a negative because it's not anywhere close. They feel like it is, but it's not actually making it right. But there's other situations where it's like, yeah, they tried to make it right. You're still not happy, just don't bother leaving any feedback at all. So, yeah, feedback and eBay. My latest thing that I've just started doing on eBay is to just not even bother looking at stuff from the United States. It's just buy Canada. Not only does it get here a lot faster, even with our allegedly shitty postal service, it still gets here faster. Like, I've been waiting for a set of SIPs for, when did I buy those? Like November? No, I bought those like mid-December, but I had bought a laptop in November and it only just arrived like last week. The SIPs are sitting somewhere at, I don't even know if they've crossed the border yet, to be bluntly honest about it. Friggin' DHL, useless company. I wish they'd go out of business. For all the faults that the global shipping program had when it was run by Pitney Bowes, at least things actually arrived most of the time. It was very rare that they lost something, and when they lost something, you knew about it pretty early on, but now they just sit in limbo, and of course eBay tries to not let you say, oh, I haven't received it. They're like, oh, it might still be on its way. I don't care whether it's still on its way. I want a fucking refund for the thing that was supposed to be here like 2 months ago. Anyway. Yes, postal strike and all that, but it's not even being delivered by the postal service, Like, it's amazing, these things. You say, oh, it might be delayed, but the only things that I've had that were ever delayed weren't even shipped through the postal service anyway. Other than, I bought a game cartridge that was delayed because it got caught up in the postal strike, but it was only delayed by 3 weeks? No. The length of the strike, which I don't even remember, plus maybe another week or two on top of that. So, grand scheme of things, it's not 2 months. Ridiculous. Really, it is. That came here before the end of the year, last year. So, yeah, I just find it nuts. The way that eBay is now, I find it just completely nuts. I might just start taking my business to classifieds instead. The problem with the classifieds, Kijiji and whatever, is A, there's a lot of scammers afoot, and B, things are massively overpriced on there. Like, really the only thing I ever really look at is the free section, and there's almost never anything there that's worth looking at. But other than that, oh, and the fact it doesn't work on my browser anymore, but then again, neither does eBay. So, I find that amazing that we live in this supposedly enlightened times, and yet everything is designed to work in Google Chrome. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of those best viewed Internet Explorer 4 websites. Remember how crappy those were? And how prevalent they were? Yeah, we've definitely regressed back to that era, and not for good reason either. I don't know what it would take, last time it took someone getting sued by the Department of Justice for violating antitrust law, but I don't know where it'll take this time. Especially with Orange Corporate in the White House for the next 4 years. So, anyway, and yes, I said that, and yes, I meant it. So, whatever. Things are the way that they are, and they'll continue to be the way that they are, probably for a while, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you just live and take it, I guess. So, whatever. I did want to clean a few things up in here while I was out here, but it's too cold, and I've wasted like 16 minutes out here. I'm sure people want me to shut up, so yeah, I'll shut up. Suffice it to say, there will be, hopefully, a video every week on this channel going forward. I don't know that I'll record something every week, because I still have a couple of videos that I need to upload. I think at least 3 that still need to be uploaded. And then I'm through the backlog. Finally. Isn't that nice? Then it's just dealing with all the other various backlogs, including but not limited to the Storm channel, which, yes, I haven't forgotten about. I need to edit some videos for that channel, and it'll probably include at least one video here in the coming future. I'm going to try and edit some of that this weekend, but we'll see what happens.